Okay.
your seminar, your webinar that you had the other day, because I wanted to learn more and just get familiarized, because I have a lot of content, bro. This is the 9th episode, and I got about an hour of some just really awesome content talking about tequila, with some amazing professionals. So for me, it's like, how do I take this and kind of put it out further into the masses? And I think it'd be an awesome podcast just to kind of fucking, jump
Absolutely,
in your
man.
car and just, listen about, maybe some real estate talk, maybe about some other, industries that we may not be very familiar with. And I mean, who doesn't like tequila? Well, some people don't, but
Yeah.
who doesn't like hearing about some cool stuff like tequila and stuff? But yeah, we are live. We are kicking it off once again. I'm with the one, the only Nicolas Luna, your health insurance broker. How are you, sir?
I tried to do the reggaeton horn, but it didn't come through as good as I wanted to. I'm doing very well.
Awesome, bro.
Things are good.
How's the weather down in LA? Because it's pouring up here in the Bay right now.
It is not pouring up here, though I wish it was, so that way, we get some snow in the mountains. But if you're telling me it's pouring up there, I am looking forward to my trip coming up when I go snowboarding in Tahoe. So it's really sunny outside. Actually, it's really nice. It's like a 70 degrees outside. It's typical LA weather.
The beauty of living in Southern California, right?
Yeah. Just don't look at.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna get you some snow. Definitely gonna get you snow on the mountains, bro. So, but
nice.
Welcome everybody to the one and only Tequila and Transaction Show. I'm your host, Ricky J. Alvarez with Boulevard Real Estate. This is episode number 9. We are going to be talking about some amazing things today. We're going to be talking a little bit of health insurance. We're going to drop in maybe some podcast, nuggets, talking about, social media, some amazing memes that my boy Nicolas Luna puts out there to more than so get you thinking about why you should be insured and the kind of impacts that life can have on you that can make you want to reconsider not being insured. So we're going to kick this off, episode number 9. We're going to go ahead and do our introduction video, brother, and then from there, I'm going to pass the baton over to you, or Mike, so that you can introduce yourself. So let me go ahead and start our little promo video here, and then we will go from there. Do you see the
I do.
bar that I'm in right now?
I do.
Cool. Let's kick this off.
Nice. It's a nice kitchen.
Yeah, it's actually my brother's house. I stole his home for my promo video.
Very nice.
I'm like, dude, that's a compliment. You got a great looking house. So that's the story of that. That's a house that actually we acquired off market. We did a little bit of work to it, and it looks 100% better than it does now.
Nice.
It was in pretty rough shape. So it was one of our many projects that we have done over the years. And that little bar that I showed, well, not so little, is the one right behind me. We're at actually my parents' home, the collection of Casa de Alvarez. So my Casa de Alvarez has our own little bar, a little tequila bar, and it's something that we love and something that has really been a part of me and my culture. So that's why, hence Tequila and Transactions, where we put a little real estate spin on it and talk to some amazing individuals like yourself. So once again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Tequila and Transactions, episode number 9, numero 9, here with Nicolas Luna, your health insurance broker, meme aficionado, social media guru, podcaster. I mean, you name it, this man's in it all. So, sir, pass it over the mic to you. Introduce yourself. Let the folks know who you are, what you do, and also where they can find you.
Nice. So my name is Nicolas Luna. As Ricky said, I am health insurance. I've been in health insurance since 2008. That was not by design. That was by accident. Ended up not falling in love with the industry, but falling in love with the complexity and figuring out problems. I realized that I like working on things and solving problems, and there is nothing better than insurance because it is super complicated and it's always changing and it's ridiculous. It stresses me out to this day, but it's the after effect when I'm able to help someone figure out a problem and they have that peace of mind and that sigh of relief is still priceless to this day. Like it gets me every single time. I had something I had to do with today. Like some customer service rep gave a customer wrong information. They call me freaking out. And I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't make any sense. Like your maximum out of pocket is this amount of money. Why are they telling you that you're going to be spending more than your maximum out of pocket? That doesn't. So I call my broker line and I tell him like, hey, look, like this service is going to fall under this category. Does this fall under the out of pocket for the year? They're like, yeah, it does. I'm like, okay, well, your customer service rep told my customer something else. So, so then I call the customer back and they're just like, right. So yeah, once I left that company, I got laid off and they gave me the golden parachute. And I think what really helped me take I don't want to say, I didn't dive into the business because I wasn't sure of being a broker after I got laid off. But one thing that really helped me is I was in a really good position financially. So when I got laid off, I took full advantage of the time off, took a nice little 6-month vacation. And I kind of, I don't want to say convinced myself, but I saw the opportunity. I knew that I had a passion to help people because the Latino market is underserved. If that's one thing that I learned from working at Anthem Blue Cross was that Latinos are left in the dark. Even if they have insurance to their employer, they're still paying for out of pocket for certain services that they're not supposed to. And the reason why they do that is because they just don't want to deal with it, or they don't want to call in their insurance or ask questions, or they're embarrassed or talking to their HR. So when I got into the industry, I knew, well, I know this industry very well. There's a big demand for it because there isn't a lot of people that look like me and speak Spanish that can serve the community. So I think I could do some damage. And then I added a little bit of my flavor to my videos. I'm very sarcastic. I have a very slapstick humor. And I found a way to incorporate the message of got health insurance from videos on the internet doing dumb stuff. And it's funny how it all started. It all started with me. And people don't realize that. I posted a picture of me riding a skateboard and I fell. And everyone laughed at that video at my expense. And I'm okay with it. And I was at a Facebook event and we were just all kind of brainstorming. And then I kind of was just, I put some saying on it. It wasn't got health insurance. And so someone else actually told me I would have a different saying for the video. And then one of the fraternity brothers from our organization, you should put like a tagline, got health insurance, and boom, that was it, done. And yeah, I also host a podcast, The Practical Entrepreneur. I've been doing that for the last 3 years. It's really good. Selfishly, I gain a lot of information from my guests. So it may not get, thousands of downloads like Joe Rogan, or he gets millions. But I selfishly get an MBA for sure in business from all the guests, and I'm able to share that knowledge with listeners. So if they're ever, interested in, starting their own business, just listen to the podcast and listen from everyone's perspective, everyone's hurdles. Business it's very simple. It can be very challenging. It's very stressful, and as long as you can able to manage that stress, I think everyone can be some sort of a self-employed person. But that's a little bit about me. And I love snowboarding. You can see it in the back. And that's my big cell phone that was used a lot in my videos.
All in your marketing and your videos?
Yeah, man. I thought I was only going to be able to use it for like a little bit of time, and man, it still keeps giving. I wasn't gonna play it out, but it still cracks people up, man. It cracks me up, and now that I'm looking at it from the background, like it's just funny, man. It's this big old cell phone.
What the hell's that big cell phone doing back there?
Yeah.
Well, awesome, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the insight to what you do, and I would say ability to help people is just amazing, and that's awesome that there's people out there like you. And similar to myself, I'm a real estate agent, and I love helping people. So it's nice that there's a lot of folks out there, and a lot of people I have on the show that kind of have that same mentality and that that same drive to service people and help people in the best way they can. So that's definitely awesome. But if people want to find you, it's on Instagram where they can see all your funny videos. It's at Nicolas Luna Broker, correct?
Yes, you can find that on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok.
If not, just look me up. He's my friend. So you guys can go the long route, or you could just type in Nicolas Luna Broker. It should come up.
Yeah.
He's all over social media. But Nick is not only just a good friend of mine, he's also my fraternity brother from Gamma Zeta Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So shout out to all the Gammas. Actually, I think you're the second Gamma on here. Actually,
nice.
Ernesto was the first one, also part of your class, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm keeping it all the love with Delta right now. But
nice.
I got a feeling like some bros that are gonna listen to this are gonna be like, "Yo, what's up with me getting on the show?" Spread the love around a little bit, brother. So
I know, man. Like, I get that sometimes too on my podcast. You're like, "Why'd you have him and not me?" I'm like, "Dude."
well, why don't you ask nicely? Maybe I'll invite you.
I know. Maybe don't be a jerk.
And that's another plug too on Nick's Practical Entrepreneur podcast. You'll find an episode with Ricky the Realtor on there.
Oh, yes. Mr. Consistent, man.
Yes, sir. So, there's a lot of great people that you interviewed, man. I look forward to your podcast and try to chime in and get some of those, get some of that audio in when I'm on the road and all that good stuff. So definitely a good listen. So plug in your podcast one more time, but nonetheless, this is a tequila and transactions show. So I'm excited to see you said you were going to get a new bottle, bro. So I'm excited to see what you got.
You know what? I didn't get a new bottle. I did not have time to go get one. What I was going to get was 3 generations. Tres generaciones.
I like that.
I can just drink that, straight.
Have you tried their Cristalino before is the question.
No, I haven't.
I got this one here from Mexico. Peep this one out.
Oh, no way. What do we got here? Oh my goodness.
No seal, no deal.
Dang.
It has some little indentations like an agave plant. You see that?
Oh, wow. You fancy, huh?
And this is actually they're not going to make this style anymore. So I brought this. This was the last bottle in the case. People can't see my face. Last bottle in the case. And the guy's like, well, I'm not really going to think about selling it because they're not going to make this bottle anymore. And I was like, how much you want for it? So it came home with me, guys. So this one is one of the best añejos cristalinos.
Nice.
Cristalino, like we talked about on some of my shows before, it means that it's been distilled to remove all the color. So this is an añejo. It's just clear because they've distilled it, but this is a wonderful bottle.
Nice. Everyone has a price.
They do. And especially when I'm getting tequila and I want it, I most likely will get it because I want to add it to the family's collection here. So that one is not going to be opened up. Most likely not, but it's definitely going to sit there for many, many years. Hopefully, it'll be opened up on a special occasion. But a lot of these bottles we don't really open. I mean, they just kind of sit here, and we usually buy duplicates so we can taste them and drink them. But
I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
But yeah, the ones that go up on the wall kind of stay there, and then they get dusted every once in a while. But not so much for taste, more for looks. But yeah, I'm going to just let everybody know who's watching. We got a few viewers on here. If you guys have questions, drop it in the chat, and we will do our best to answer. I'm going to keep monitoring this throughout Tequila and Transactions. So if anything pops up, we will definitely go ahead and answer it and go from there. But I'm curious to see, bro, what do you have?
Well, my bottle is super basic. It is a, dude, I can't even pronounce it.
Oh, Herradura.
Yeah. The Repa Silver. So I think it's this.
That's not basic. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's good stuff. I think I might have brought this one back from Mexico. Let me see. No, I didn't. I think I got it here. When I went to Mexico in 2019, Christmas 2019, my father-in-law had a quinceañera. By the way, it was the best quinceañera I've ever been to in my life. It felt like I was like at a festival. It was super dope.
Whose quinceañera was it?
It was his niece, so his brother's daughter.
Got it.
Um,
Cool.
and the whole night we were drinking palomas, dude. Like, just they were so good. Like, it was just like, and the kid was making was like 19 years old. This guy was just like, he was all suited and booted, like he took his job serious, right? And the only tequila that they were adding to it was this one. So I learned, I guess the secret was I was making Cadillac margaritas.
Yeah.
And so I took the basic ingredients of a Cadillac margarita and just added mineral water. And that takes it to the next level, because when you drink it, you're like, it has that at the end, like that with the gas.
Yep, that's why.
And it's so
fine.
Oh, bro,
straight mineral water. That's it.
And then you add I mean, maybe about 2 ounces of it. So it also kind of keeps you hydrated, so you're not kind of prevents those hangovers. So yeah, man, that's when I make Cadillac margaritas, man, you about to get tore up.
So you put Grand Marnier in there, or what do you put in
there?
Yeah,
dude, Grand Marnier, triple sec, nice. Tequila,
love it.
Lime juice. I have to look for it. I know I have all the ingredients and stuff like that. And Grand Marnier also, and that mineral water is what.
Oh man, it's just so much more refreshing. Yeah, it's so much more refreshing. It doesn't really, taste like it's super like, when you have margarita and just has all that sweet sour, and you're like, I want to taste the tequila a little more. I want it to be a little bit smoother. Like, I don't want to get like slapped in the face with all the sour.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice suggestion, bro. I'm gonna do that. I don't always drink margaritas, but when I do, they're Cadillac for sure, because that Grand Marnier on there just makes it that much more flavorful. So yeah, I got introduced to those at a young age working at Outback Steakhouse. So so those were the go-to sometimes after work. But no, yeah, those are definitely a great drink, especially in the summertime, man. Just
yes,
adding that mineral water is not only going to keep the drink nice and refreshing, but it's also going to hopefully limit the amount of sugar intake that you're taking. Yes. And not give you such of a hangover. So drink responsibly out there. That's my plug today. Drink water. Don't drink it all straight, because it will come back to haunt you in the morning, unless you're drinking some really good stuff. And this baby right here, I'm going to introduce her. Her name is 𝘛𝘦𝘲𝘢𝘶 𝘛𝘳𝘢𝘀𝘴𝘢.
Oh,
hand-painted bottle.
Classy.
Yeah, these have gained so much attention, and more than anything, have gained so much hype, I should say. A
lot of hype.
A lot of hype lately, and it's mainly because of the taste and the look, and also I will share with you guys the intent was never for this to happen. So you guys know, inside the top here is nice and finished. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like nice and polished. I actually have an old one here. I'm going to show you guys. I should have brought it up before, but they stumbled upon something interesting with that top. Let me show you guys what the old one looks like. So the old one is a little rough. You see that, Nick? How it's kind of like not polished and finished?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's a little bit rough around the edges there.
Yeah.
So what happened was someone realized if you hit this at a perfect angle, it'll ring like a bell. So if you order this bottle, or if you order a shot or a drink, anything from this bottle, if you're at a bar and you order this, they got to ring the bell. And the way they do it is right when they take off to serve you, they put it right back on. 𝘛𝘦𝘲𝘢𝘀𝘴 azul right there. That's how you know. That's how everybody at the bar knows that you just ordered a nice either shot, drink, or even the whole bottle. So 𝘛𝘦𝘲𝘢𝘀𝘴 azul within itself has just so much value. I mean, you are going to pay over $100. You're going to pay around anywhere between 100 and 130. It used to be closer to 100, but COVID-19 unfortunately limited the amount of supply. So we got the kind of the shit end of the stick here, where a lot of the tequila stayed in Mexico. Not much of it is coming over here. So hopefully we will get more production going. But these bottles have gotten much more expensive. And in addition to that, a lot of high-end tequila has gotten more expensive. Case in point, if you're getting a bottle of 1942 or anything of that nature, you're spending over 130 bucks, 120, 130 bucks.
Wow.
When they used to be about $100 back in the day. But I've seen some beautiful, beautiful pieces of art like made from these bottles. They can become, I mean, you name it. People have made hookahs out of them, have made lamps out of them, vases. Just some really, people have even repainted these different colors and put, remove these little agave little decals on there and put like a sports team or something on there.
Got it.
Clase Azul is a very high-end tequila. They started off doing really small batches and have grown substantially. So you will see their bottles out there, but if you want some of their higher-end stuff, typically you're going to see the Blanco and then the Reposado. You will see Añejo every now and then. That bottle is anywhere between $300 and $400. And then they have a Ultra, which is a little bit over $1,000 or so. The really cool thing is that these, once you get up to their higher end bottles, when you're spending over $1,000 for it, their little agave right here in the center is actually made of silver.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's made of silver. And then they have their highest end bottle is actually, it's black, and the little leaves that you see painted on are painted on with pretty much, it's liquid platinum. So they're painting liquid platinum. And then the little agave in the center is silver. So you are getting a little bit more value add. It's if you Google Clase Azul Ultra, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a gorgeous bottle, and they come in these like amazing suitcases that have Clase Azul's logos all over it. So Clase Azul is a very high-end, more quality, and that's why you see a lot of the artists, the music in the music videos, the people like, all the social media
Got it.
influencers, they always have this bottle around because it has that kind of that stature, that kind of that reputation for.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now that you tell me all this, now it makes sense why everyone has that bottle.
Yep.
That stupid fucking bell is so cool, man. Like as soon as you rang it, I'm like fucking genius, right?
Yep.
Like it's a flex. That's what it is. Like, ding!
100%. It is.
That's right. I'm ordering an expensive drink, bitches.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. Once I figured that out, I like all sorts of tequilas, but if I'm at a nice bar, I'm drinking Clase Azul, and more so because I like the fact that they let everybody know that you're the baller at the bar top.
Yep.
Ordering that shot, and they're gonna ring the bell, and everyone looks over like, what the fuck?
What's that? I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, Clase Azul. So that's the whole vibe around them, and the fact they just go a little bit above and beyond, bro. To be honest with you, they age their tequilas longer than others. Typically, a reposado tequila is aged 4 or 5 months, if that. 3, 4, 5 months. Yeah, like more virgin tequilas like the Blanco that you have there is not aged pretty much at all. The Blanco is a virgin tequila. It's not aged, and that's typically the way a lot of folks would drink it was Blanco. They would distill it, they would drink it right away. The other way of drinking alcohol from the agave is mezcal. And mezcal is a more traditional way. Mezcal is the indigenous way of drinking from the agave. So later, all the cazadores and all those people that were out there and all the farmers and all that, they found out that if they would take the distilled product and age it, that it would get so much more flavor, it would get more color, and overall smoother tequila. So the beauty of Clase Azul, the Reposado, is actually almost an añejo. An añejo is aged about 10 months to 12 months. And there's some, like their Ultra, which is their añejos are aged, I think, over a year. and their extra añejos are aged for I think 2 or 3 years. So you're talking about these bottles. There's tequila being stored in barrels that's not even going to hit the shelves for probably about 3-4 years. And yeah, so you can imagine the product and the care and the time it takes to put it out on the shelf. Case in point, why they charge so much. So
Yeah, makes sense.
hopefully one of these days I'm going to get a cousin of mine is actually an accountant for Clase Azul, and I would love to get him on the show. I'm probably going to do it here soon just to kind of pick his brain, because just their entire approach to making tequila is very, very well thought out, and more than anything, they they just take pride in their work and they take pride in their product. So it goes to show you, they have a hand painted bottle done by young ladies in Guadalajara. They are actually going to start painting these bottles in my hometown, near my hometown. It's not actually my hometown, but parents and I are building our dream house in Tepatitlán, Jalisco. So they're going to start painting these beauties there. So they have young ladies who paint these. Eventually, they're going to have their own hacienda, and they're going to have a whole experience with a hotel and all that good stuff. So eventually, you're going to be able to actually fly into Guadalajara, go to Tepatitlan, stay at their hacienda, have 5-star meals by chefs, have tequila tastings and pairings, and I'm told, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for this, I'm told you're gonna be able to paint your own bottle, take it home with you. I mean, you're gonna spend, I don't know how much for this experience, but you're gonna pretty much live, breathe, eat, and sleep the whole tequila experience. So shout out to Clase Azul, amazing, amazing product. We don't have anything negative to say about them other than it's a little overpriced.
Yeah.
You pay for what you get for it. I mean, this bottle's not going to go anywhere. You can fill it up with some cheap stuff. Keep ringing the bell. You do what you got to do. So with that being said, bro, I poured myself a little shot. Cheers. Bro,
Just a second. Let me pour. I got myself a practical glass here.
I'll wait for bro. We'll do a little cheers.
Ooh, not too much, man, because I gotta function after this.
No. Yeah. it's only about a little bit before 5. So yeah. Cheers, bro.
Salud. Cheers, man.
Does the body good.
Tequila, man. I still cringe a little bit when I take tequila shots because of my younger days drinking Jose Cuervo.
Oh, dude, don't say that name. Don't say that name.
I want to vomit when I hear it, when I smell it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I try, as we all do when we're young and dumb and don't have much money. We gotta drink what's available.
Yeah.
So I didn't drink much Jose Cuervo, but I drink a lot of vodka because it was cheap and it was pretty much always around. So for me, whatever we could get our hands on was what we were drinking, and I came to know very quickly that tequila is my girl, is my that tequila is my main squeeze. That's what I she doesn't steer me wrong, she doesn't do me wrong, but vodka, my man, she has it out for me. She's I wake up cursing.
Es tóxica.
Yeah, bro.
Es una tóxica.
Yes, sir. Muy tóxica.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No, I told myself I'm never ever gonna drink vodka in my life. No hate on my Russian friends out there, but I just can't do it. It's not for me. I've
harsh
multiple times, and it's just like every single time. No matter how much water I drink, no matter what I do, it comes back to haunt me, man. So I steer clear from vodka and hang out with Miss Tequila more often. So
tequila's wifey material. So you take home to mom.
Mama don't hate on tequila. That's for sure.
Does not. If you bring home vodka, they be like, "Mijo, ¿estás bien? ¿Estás enfermo?" Right?
It's a little funny you say that. A little funny you say that because we had my company had a virtual event, like they called it Side Table. The company Boulevard Real Estate is part of a bigger technology brokerage.
Got it.
Called Side. So Side essentially is our broker behind the scenes. They power our entire company, but we were doing cocktail events, and I've since told our president of the company, I was like, hey man, we got to do a tequila one because we can't be always doing vodka because not everybody's a huge fan. And he thought it was hella funny, but he's like, yeah man, for sure we'll do tequila next. But dude, I same thing, man. I literally, they sent it to me in a really nice box. I pulled it out, started making the cocktails that they were doing for the event. And my mom goes, ¿Qué tienes? And I was like, huh? And she's like, what are you drinking that stuff for? And she didn't say stuff. She said, what are you drinking that shit for? And I'm like, well, my company sent it to me. It's part of this whole event. Like, I gotta like partake in it. And she's like, she kind of like gave me the look like, you're out of your mind.
Are you okay?
Right. And then I, dude, literally woke up the next day. Dude, I literally had a hangover that night, dude. And I was like, oh my God, dude. I shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. But
yeah,
I wanted to partake in the webinar and the little mixologist, little pretty much workshop that they did about the drinks. It was a holiday drink one, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know what I mean? But it just didn't. It doesn't sit well with me. So unfortunately, I'm staying clear from now on. Ever. I mean, ever. And if I do, I know that I know what's expected. I know what's coming. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
That's true. As long as you just like
go for it.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, when it comes to vodka, like I know what to expect, so I have to mix it the right way, mix it with something else, and to be able to tolerate it, because I am not a vodka person.
Nope. So me and you are in the same boat. I was just going to ask you if there's anything that you don't drink, but yeah, it's vodka, man. Just can steer clear from now on.
Yeah, vodka, and then still to this day, I don't get it why like my pledge brothers still drink Jack Daniels. I'm like, guys,
yeah, they do.
We're older men now.
Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, we can afford good whiskey. Like, why are you drinking this trash? Like, I'm like, can we just get a more expensive bottle of whiskey? Because I've had good whiskey.
Oh, dude, there's so much out there.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why are you guys always getting the same original? It's like, I equivalent Jack Daniels like with 𝘱𝘓 𝘧𝘀. Like, it's the cheap stuff that you start off with, right? It's the bottom of the totem pole. Yeah. I've had Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack's a lot better. But I always give him shit. I'm just like, dude, like,
I mean, at least step it up.
I'm just
at least step it up a little, get the Crown Royal with the little pouch, man.
Fuck, man, Jesus. Like,
that's hilarious. It's true. A lot of the bros, especially the bros that you're close with, a lot of them like drinking it, and I'm just like, all right, I guess
you like Taco Bell tacos and not street tacos, right? I mean,
dude, it's like sometimes you guys stick with what you know, and I guess, I mean, they don't want to explore. I mean, there's so much out there. Like, one of my favorites, I like Whistling Pig. I like Mitchers is a good one. I don't know if you ever tried Mitchers. Is a great whiskey. Get it, Mitchers American whiskey. Oh my dude, great whiskey.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I do really like Mitchers.
Okay.
But no, I'm not a real Jack Daniels fan anymore.
Not anymore.
Back in the day, it's like it was Jack Daniels and Diet Coke. Now, not so much. So
yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, bro, since you also have your eyes on kind of where you got your eyes and ears to the ground when it comes to like residential, housing, as far as like apartments and stuff like that, because you actually manage one yourself.
I do.
I wanted to pivot a little bit to real estate, and then we'll come back. I got some awesome things to ask you about, more about your memes and the podcast. But
okay,
want to just get your take. Like, of course, California got the rent moratorium. You can't really kick people out. But what have you seen since the start of the pandemic? Like, have you had many people move? Do you have a lot of people that are just kind of squatting? Like, do you have? If you could share it, like, are you seeing people that maybe are behind in rent and stuff like that? Like, just because it's interesting to see, once the moratorium is up, I think it's going to be up in June or so. I'll be interested to see like what's going to happen. So,
Yeah, so I've been dealing with it, right? So I manage a 51, including my unit, my apartment, tax credit building. So a lot of people think when they think, or a lot of people associate affordable housing just Section 8, but Section 8 is a federal uh, HUD regulated program, but there's various programs for affordable housing. One of them is tax credit. So the developers who make affordable uh, buildings and to make the apartments affordable, they get a tax credit when they file taxes because they're providing low income housing for the community. So our building has super affordable rent. Like we have studios that go for $438 and they go up to $677. We have a one bedroom apartment that goes for 468. We have three bedroom apartments as low as $642. And as the most expensive apartment here is $1,325. So, I mean, it's very affordable rent. Now, in the beginning of the pandemic, in April, everything was kind of smooth. May kicked in, and then more, the government started to see that it was really serious. They started kind of mandating it, saying that you didn't have to pay any rent, there's no late fees and things like that. I started to see a couple people take advantage of that. Now, out of the entire building, for only two or three people to actually take advantage of that, that's actually not that bad. Um, and now that we've gone almost a year in the pandemic, um, it's gotten a lot better, and it's still the same two people trying to take advantage of the system. There were some people who were struggling in the very beginning of the pandemic, to pay rent. But fortunately, I was able to create a fund and help out some of the people with the rent, where we followed all the guidelines, per the state. So we looked at who hadn't paid rent, and we looked at the size of the household, and we looked at their income, and that was the house. Those are the units that were qualified for assistance. So I mean, it was awesome. Like I had someone, a colleague of mine. I'm not going to say her name because she wants to be anonymous, but she paid someone's rent and she gave him like $100 for groceries, and that was awesome, right? Like, um, and it, the pandemic kind of like it highlighted a couple things. It highlighted the generosity of people, and it also highlighted some of the crazy shit, right? Like people fucking flipping out, right? So yeah, it's not too bad. I have people trying to work the system and things like that. But we just the best that I can do is just do my job, make sure I have everything in order, and as soon as July 1st comes around, that's when the thing ends. It's go time, because I mean I get where if someone is really got laid off and is hurting financially, I understand, I get that, right? I'm very empathetic to that. But when you're just cheating the system, I have no sympathy for you. And you're just like, when you see these people who are not paying rent, but then they buy a brand new car, and you're seeing all these big boxes of furniture coming to their apartment, and you're just like, you're not hurting, you're just cheating the system. But again, it's not personal. It's I don't take it personal and things like that. It's just some more annoying, like where you just want your books to look clean, right? Like you want your report to be like, oh, it's clean, like I don't have to worry about it. You have one that's like just stands out like a sore thumb. You're just like, I wish it wasn't there. That's just my I guess the perfectionist side of me, or the someone who wants like to keep everything in order, but it's not in my control. But that's what I've been experiencing. Just California is very liberal when it comes to renter. It's a very pro renter versus pro landlord. I learned that really quick. I had someone who was in eviction, and we started the process in December. We had our court case in March, and she didn't pay rent for a year because the courts shut down. They weren't gonna evict anybody at the moment. Ended up working out where she ended up paying all her back rent, and she wanted to get like a bigger apartment, and by luck someone was able to move out from a bigger apartment, and she moved in, and it was all clear. But yeah, man, you got to see a lot of like the holes, right, and people exploiting those loopholes. And is it frustrating? Of course it is. It's really frustrating because you're just like, there's people out here who really need the help, like they really do need the help. And I remember when we created the fund, we're just like, all right, we want to make sure that we're going to give this to people who really do qualify. And it just happened to be that, based off of the criteria that is set by the state, and we followed it, it worked out. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with for the last year. It's very interesting,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that, this pandemic, not the pandemic, but like just like these rules just kind of go away, because it's going to be for almost a year and a half. They started the protection, I think in May or April, May, around there. And people are not paying on time because there's no late fees. We can't charge any late fees. And it's like, fuck, so just hoping that we can, straighten it out, kind of get back to normal. And that way we, can live how we used to be, we just, I mean, I know it's crazy how some people think like, oh, things aren't going back how they used to. Like, we're social creatures, shut up. Like, we're going to go to concerts, we're going to go to sporting events. Like, though my opinions of the mask, like I'm responsible.
Yeah.
I'll wear my mask when I'm out in public, but I don't think we should always be wearing a mask if it's not necessary. Like when it's cold, it's really convenient though. I can tell you that much. You wear a mask and it's cold, it's like, oh hell yeah, my face is warm, right?
Right.
But it's hot and it's just like sweaty, and it's just like, and then it's funny because like if you have lunch and then you eat, and then you put your mask on, you walk around, you take off, and you smell, my lunch, like fuck this, right? Like I'm not about this.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to moving on, because it's just a little frustrating. It added a ton more work to my daily routine, more paperwork to file, more Excel spreadsheets. Like I was on the verge of kind of keeping my books clean, and
Right.
then COVID hit. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, bro. Everybody was affected some way or another, which it's crazy, man. And I mean, thank you for providing that insight, bro. Just because I wanted to see, what a lot of people are taking advantage of it. A lot of people are, not everybody, but most people, and some people are actually getting up and seeing this as an opportunity, and leaving, and maybe looking to buy their next home or buy a home, or maybe look for more space, which has been kind of the thing that's more sought after in my industry. Is everyone wants more space, more bigger backyard, be able to maybe have their sanctuary or their oasis away from everybody else, so that they can come home to and like be normal in their own house. So
yeah, I did have one person. Now that you mentioned that, Ricky, the person, there was a household here that lived here for 8 years and lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. And they told me, he's like, because of COVID, we weren't going out, and we were able to save a lot more money.
Nice.
They bought their home. So, and that's a stepping stone for, for affordable housing. Like you move in here, you get on your feet, you get established, and your goal is to move out. But unfortunately, the mindset for many people, they look at it like the lottery. Like, oh, they move in here, like, oh, I won the lottery. Like, I don't ever want to move out. But I'm like, no, like, it's annoying to fill out this paperwork and to go through all these inspections every year. Like, don't you want to move out? So, yeah, as far as like my building, I had one person who moved out, bought a home in LA County, and they were able to take advantage of the pandemic where they weren't spending money. I know for personally, March and April and early parts of May, man, I wasn't doing anything. Like, so I had a lot of disposable income. So apparently I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I mean, some people were able to save more and not weren't going out as much and all that stuff. So I mean, that's a great story, man. I'm glad you told us about that, because that's a great success story. And then you mentioned like the housing that you manage. It's through the state or through the federal government? It's probably
So
the state of California, right? Or is it an alternate program through the county of LA? You said, or something?
so how it works is the building is monitored by the state.
Okay.
Um, every affordable tax credit building is monitored by the state. There's a department within the state that manages, the housing. And then we have inspections from other organizations that help fund the building. So like when, they wanted to make the building, certain banks and certain organizations gave money to help build it. So then those organizations also have their inspections and reports that I have to take care of. But for sure, the state comes in here, and what they really want to look at is to make sure that, when someone moves in, they're not over income. And
Right.
then their first year that they recertify, it's not over income as well. Because a lot of people, what they do is they'll like quit their job and like they'll get in and then they'll get a job right away and then they're making good money. And then the state wants to monitor that. So you have to, when you first move in, you have to have a certain income and you have to maintain that income. And then after you've been here, after your second time around, it doesn't matter what you make anymore. You could be making $1 million a year and paying rent for, $600 in rent, and they're not going to boot you. Unlike Section 8, Section 8 is different. You have to you pay 30% of your income in rent. So as your income goes up, so does your rent. So a lot of those people that live in Section 8, they're like, oh, I don't want to make a lot of money. Like, I'll just work part-time because they don't want to pay more rent. I mean, it's stupid, but I mean, everybody has their prerogative, right?
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting, and yeah, I mean, it's great that there's stuff like that that's out there, but like you said, it should be also utilized for a purpose. It should be, you should be able to, um, you know, use that as a stepping stone. And in case in point, like one of your previous tenants was able to kind of see the benefit
Yeah.
and be able to kind of, use the pandemic to be a little bit more disciplined on their spending
Yeah.
and be able to use that money to save up and buy a house. So that's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, up here, it's kind of the same thing. I'm not, too well versed on some of the more, financial assisted programs, or the programs through the state, as far as, low income housing and all that stuff. But I do know that, a lot of folks are just going to holding on. And I really do hope that, folks are being conscious of their spending habits, and of course not able to go out and spend money like they used to, as far as like going to bars or restaurants, and where a lot of the money goes typically when you're going out, with your friends on Friday, Saturday nights and stuff like that. So, I do hope that people are taking advantage of it, not just because I'm a real estate agent, but I do like to see people progress and just kind of, do something for themselves that's going to help create generational wealth. And I mean, real estate's one of those vehicles that you can put money in, and it's always going to be worth something. There's no in one like great movie. I forgot what it is. It just slipped my mind, but they said buy real estate because God's not making any more land.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the I would say the that should be the goal, that you should buy a house and hopefully one day pass it on to your kids, your grandkids, and stuff like that, and just be able to have something to provide for them, and just have that tax, not only the shelter but the tax shelter, because it does help you a lot with taxes and does help you save as you pay down your mortgage. And hopefully you have some pride of home ownership and putting some money into it, and eventually building some equity to go and sell it. So I think that's awesome, and I do hope that a lot of people are listening to this. And if you guys need any help, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if even I'm not in the state or area that you work in, I'll put you in touch with somebody that I know and trust that'll make it happen for you. I mean, we've talked about it before. I mean, there's so much opportunities in real estate, and Airbnb is a big one, and stuff like that. So I mean, the sky's the limit. You could buy a home and rent it out. You could buy a home and live in it. You could buy a home and fix it up and flip it and sell it. Like, there's so much ways to make money in real estate. And I think the beauty of it is that, they're not making any more land, and you got to get it while it's good, or get it while you can. So, But yeah, brother. I wanted to just switch gears a little bit, talk a little bit about real estate because it is a tequila and transaction show. We are talking
Yep.
a little bit of real estate, but mainly it's all about you, our guests that we bring on here, and just want to hear your guys' story and kind of get your perspective on things. But as far as health insurance goes, I mean that's your expertise. That's everybody knows you from your marketing, from your big phones and
Oh
your
yeah.
your health insurance T-shirts and got health insurance, all that good stuff, and those are your taglines, and something that you're very well known for, and you're an expert in the industry. So, before we go, definitely just want to pick your brain. I know a lot of people are really hesitant, and sometimes they just don't know enough. And if you could share anything about like the importance of having healthcare, and a lot of your memes speak for themselves. A lot of things can go wrong, and it's always good to have some coverage versus no coverage. So
Yeah.
where do people start, and more than anything, like what can you tell folks out there who are kind of on the outside looking in, like, oh, I don't need health insurance, I'm never sick, I don't go to the doctor. So if you could elaborate a little bit on that, and then we'll wrap this baby up.
Sounds good. Well, I mean, if the pandemic has taught anyone anything, I mean, we're not here forever, right? If you're not gonna, if COVID didn't take you out, the financial burden of your medical expenses will take you out. That'll give you a panic attack. So, and I tell people like it's like, look, I know it's my job to sell you health insurance, but I'm not here to sell you health insurance. I'm here to educate you about the process and educate you about insurance, because it can be very intimidating. But just like anything, like I was intimidated of video editing, but when someone sat down with me and showed me how to do it, and they kind of simplified it, and then of course there was some headaches when I was doing it on my own, but it's a process. Anything that's new it's a process. And to get started, anyone could go to covered California or coveredca.com. And if you're looking for a quote and you're thinking about getting insurance, you go shop and compare. It's going to ask you for basic information. It's going to ask you for your zip code. It's going to ask you for the total household income, uh, how many household members are there, and everyone's ages. Now, I remember one time someone was asking me for like help about health insurance, and I asked him about I told him, oh, I need this information. I also need your household income. He's like, why do you need my household income? It's a part of requirement for Covered California. He's like, it has nothing to do with my insurance. I'm like, obviously this person's not that informed. So I had to tell him like, well, person, if you want to get affordable health insurance, it's based off of your income. Like if your income's, it's just like anything, there's a, bracket. Once it goes over a certain bracket, your tax credit, AKA your discount, goes down, and the lower income that you are, the more of a discount or tax credit you get for health insurance. So when you do that on covercalifornia.com, it'll tell you what your price will be, and it'll tell you what your tax credit is, and then it'll tell you your benefits. And to keep things very simple, the more a person pays out of their pocket to have health insurance, the less that comes out of their pocket when they actually use it. It's very simple, right? All right, the insurance company looks at it like this. This person's assuming the risk. They are willing to pay more money to have good coverage. Cool. So when the time comes, they'll pay less. Now, if you're someone who's like 26, 27-year-old male, or just 26-year-old male or female, I don't go to the doctor. I don't need insurance. You know what? You're right. You don't need much insurance, but you still need it, especially if you play sports or even if you just exist, because I've seen people sprain their ankles walking down the stairs. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're walking down the stairs, like you sprained your ankle. So life happens, right? That's why those memes come into play in a second. Boom, you're going to end up in the doctor's office. So when you're at that young age, you should not spend a lot of money in insurance. You should pay the very minimum because you're probably not going to use it. But keep in mind your deductible and your cost, and have a little separate account of savings in case you have to use your insurance for like the emergency room or a surgery or a hospital stay. Because when you pay less, that means you're going to pay more when you actually use it. And for many people, even like our car insurance, right? I pay car insurance and I don't use it, but we have to have it. It's by law. Um, you can't register your car if you don't have an auto insurance. And for health insurance, you pay a penalty. So there's some people who rather pay the penalty than have health insurance, but at the same token, at the same price you're paying for health insurance, you can get, or I mean for the penalty, because it's 7.95 or 2% of your income, whichever is greater. So there's some people, once they pass the $65,000-$70,000 income range, the penalty is going to be the same as insurance. So you might as well have coverage. So it's really about understanding the psychology. I think with a lot of young people, and especially with Latinos, is that when they spend money on something, they want something like physical. Like they want to be able to touch it, smell it, right? Like if I'm spending $1,000, I'm getting this phone, and this phone's gonna give me all kinds of stuff, right? Or if I'm gonna spend this money, I'm getting this snowboard, right? I'm spending $300 on insurance. I can't touch it. I can't smell it. I don't even use it. So like, why do I even want it, right? It makes like sense, but at the same time, I don't know when you're gonna get in a car accident. I don't know if you're gonna trip and fall in your home.
Right.
You don't know that either. So like,
Exactly.
I mean, so what do you want? Do you want to spend the money then and then get a penalty, or do you want to just get the insurance? And even sometimes knowing that you have insurance gives you confidence. Like you're like, oh, okay, I got insurance, I'm good, right? Like
Yeah.
it happened to me for a long period of time. Not in a long period of time, a short period of time. I didn't have health insurance. This is way before I even became a health insurance broker. Like I was just nervous, right? Like when I would go snowboarding, I was like super timid. But as soon as I got health insurance, I'm like, boom, let's go, right? It
There's
gets,
that.
it's so funny. Like
Yeah.
it gives you that extra confidence to do things. And so I think everyone should have some sort of coverage. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's a good protection, right? And it protects you, the consumer, and you're going to pay the negotiated rate for the services versus what the doctor's office wanted to bill you for the service. So insurance is always going to have your side when it comes to paying a facility for services, because they don't want to pay more than what they should, so they're going to pay what they feel like is necessary. So I always recommend that. And life insurance as well, and people don't think about that. Uh, During the pandemic, people took life insurance a little bit more serious, right? And people don't realize, a life insurance is the same thing. Like you're paying for something, you're not getting anything in return. But like if a family member passes, I mean, the anxiety, the grief, all that stuff, it's just crazy, right? And then you have to realize, like, oh my God, like how am I gonna pay my mortgage? Like if it's the main breadwinner that passes away, oh my God, how am I not don't even think about funeral expenses, right?
Right.
Like that's one thing, but what about your life afterwards? Like there's some people whose life flips upside down, and some people are quick. I mean, they could spend easily $150 a month for their cell phone bill. At that same price, you could have a decent life insurance policy, sometimes a really good one. I paid 30 some odd dollars for $1 million of coverage. Like it's ridiculous. So I don't understand why people don't plan ahead, right? And you can leave a legacy behind. Like everyone's like, oh, someone else is going to use it. I'm like, it's not just about that. It's just about, when you pass away, there's someone has to deal with it,
Exactly.
and how much easier is it when you have money? Like I had this conversation yesterday with some students, and someone goes, does having a lot of money make you happy? And this is the best. I think I nailed it yesterday. I was like, look, Having a lot of money does not make me happy. I can attest to that. It does not make me
Right.
happy at all. I go, see that snowboard behind me? $850, $1,000 setup, right? That's expensive. But you know what? I have the money and I can pay for it. And snowboarding makes me happy. Money gives me options. Options to shop, options to travel, options to do things that I normally couldn't do when I didn't have it. So money doesn't make me happy, but it gives me options, and those options do make me happy. So when you pass away, right? And if you're leaving debt, it's like these mixed emotions, right? Like they're grieving, but at the same time, they're like, fuck, man, like, why weren't they responsible? Why didn't they take care of their shit? Right? Like all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's the last thing I want to leave. Like, oh, you know what?
100%. I agree.
Like I could be like, oh, Nick was an asshole, but you know what? At least he made it easy for me. Now I have $1 million like to blow. Like,
Yeah.
so like
At
it
least
lessens the blow.
and gives them options,
Yeah.
you feel like you're not leaving a burden behind, that, they're able to take care of your funeral expenses and, take care of your debts and whatever else. And then whatever money left over, use it for whatever. I mean, that's why we got the policy,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I 100% agree. It's funny how people will insure a phone, insure a laptop, but they won't insure themselves.
Oh, I know.
Health insurance or life insurance. And it's like, really? Like, don't you think you're worth more than that iPhone? Don't you think you're worth more than your car? Like, I always thought that to myself. And at a young age too, like I was approached to one of our fraternity buddies. Shout out to Michael Chavez from Berkeley chapter. He, was starting off in Morgan Stanley, and he's, preaching getting life insurance. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 24. I don't need life insurance.
Of course, that's what everyone thinks, right?
And thank God I did get it. Thank God I did get it. A lot of people I talk to that have it, and I'm like, dude, I respect you, because people who actually took the time and effort to really go through that process, and it's scary. I mean, no one wants to talk about death. No one wants to realize.
No one wants to talk about it, man.
It's the most scariest thing ever. It's like public speaking and death, and like people don't want to deal with any of that shit. And so it's like, no one wants to think about what's going to happen afterwards, but you kind of got to, especially like if you have kids, you have a spouse, significant other. I mean, you got to make sure that you're taking care of them. You don't want to leave them with, the financial burden, like you said. Like they're going to bury you in like this freaking asshole. Like,
I know, right?
Left all this shit to deal with, man.
Now I gotta deal with this, right? Like, I'm telling you, dude. Like, I look at life very simple, right? So I like to build credit with people. So, when I say build credit, it's like I make deposits, right? I do a lot of good things for people. I take care of people. When someone needs help, I'm there for them. I come through, because I know I'm gonna say something, and when I say something offensive, I'm taking a deposit, right? So one thing that I'm really good at is I never go negative. Like I never go like it's like red, right? Like I always make sure there's enough money in there. So when I withdraw, I'm like, oh, I'm good, right? And then I go back and I make those deposits again. So
right.
And same, like, like it's life, right? So like I know if something would happen, like, you know what, you don't have to worry about that. I'm very, I like to be very responsible, give a lot of people a lot of, peace of mind. So then make sure, like, look, dude, like I'm going to be very direct with you. And sometimes the truth is insensitive, but you'll appreciate the truth a little bit later, but at least you know what you're getting, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to give you advice that I think that's best for you and not for me, because even when it comes to like health insurance, like or any insurance product that I'm selling, I'm not selling it because I believe that, I make the most money doing this. I go, what are your goals, right? What are your goals? What are your needs? What is it that you're looking for? And I'm going to provide you what's best for you, because at the end of the day, the commission that I get from Cover California is minor, and I don't even really care. Like I do it more just because I'm a resource to somebody, right? Like someone is, when something goes wrong, they can reach out to me and I can help them out. Cover California has a lot of stuff when it comes to income and taxes and that. I'm like, oh, I don't really know. But as far as the insurance policy, I'm really good about that. So I always like to, be very transparent with people. And sometimes, that rubs people the wrong way. But later down the line, I'm like, oh, thank God I did that, right? good looking out. My mindset wasn't, ready for this. Now I'm so grateful that like you, right? You're like, oh, I was 24 years, I bought life insurance. And you're kind of like, oh my God, I feel like I got ripped off. And then like years on, I'm like, thank God I bought it, right? Because when
Yeah,
you're really young, it's the best time to buy life insurance because
exactly.
it's
When you're
super
healthy.
cheap,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
super cheap.
Yeah.
So no, it's all about, at least for me, just being very transparent with people and making sure that at least financially they don't have to worry about me. Like they're not gonna worry about like me not come. Like I go to a restaurant with don't you hate that person when you go to the restaurant and you get nervous because like fuck, this guy's gonna order all kinds of stuff. Then he's gonna say he only has $20 or he forgot his wallet, right? Oh, I hate that. It's so annoying. There's always that one dude, right? And I'm not that guy. And I'm glad that, when I take all my trips and stuff like that, we're all on the same page and we can be like cool with that. Because man, that's one thing I hate is someone who orders more than they can afford. That's so annoying.
Yeah, man. That's why you got to be disciplined and you got
Yeah.
to, you know, learn the ropes and invest savvy and more than anything, just be disciplined. I mean, just it's
Yeah.
the game. You got to be able to, you got to be able to pay your bills on time. So that's definitely definitely one of my pet peeves too, man. I don't like. That's why for me, I like to surround myself with like-minded individuals and people who see things the way I do, and more than anything, see things beyond what I can see to inspire
Yeah.
me and keep me motivated and stuff like that. So, but yeah, brother, I think this was an amazing chat, man. We could be here all day, but wanted to thank
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
for your time. I wanted to thank you for give us a little bit of spiel into the health insurance world and also a little bit about what you do on a day to day in the residential world as far as managing apartments and working with people that are low income and stuff like that. So appreciate everything you do, bro. You're one of my good friends, one of my good fraternity brothers, man, and more than anything, I appreciate everything you do. So I said it twice. I was looking for another word, but appreciation is a special word for me, and I don't when I appreciate somebody, they for sure know. So I don't
Gotcha.
know everything about health insurance, just like I don't know everything about real estate. That's why I surround myself with people who do, and I'm always learning, as I know you are. So if you guys need any information, need any help, holler at Nick. You can find him at Nicolas Luna Broker. No H, Nicolas.
No age, Nicolas.
Nicolas Luna. So look him up. He's an individual that loves to help people. He'll take care of you guys. So once again, brother, I want to appreciate appreciate you and your time, and thank you for coming on and joining us on Tequila and Transactions, episode 9, numero 9. So I appreciate you, bro. And any last words? Anything you want to leave the people with before you go? Before we
Go Niners.
My man. Let's go.
Good.
Next.
Thanks for having me, Ricky. I really do appreciate it. You are one of the most consistent people as far as your social media that I know. You're a machine.
Thanks,
I'm
bro.
I
I work hard.
I don't even compete with you. Like I'm like a close third. I'm like, man, Ricky just don't stop.
You're funnier than me.
Like
No,
so
you're funnier than me. So
yeah,
that helps
just a little
out.
bit.
All right,
Good
brother.
stuff,
Well,
Ricky.
thank you again. Nicolas Luna, look him up. He's there for you. He's your insurance broker. So holler at him if you guys need any help. And real estate wise, you guys always have me, Ricky the Realtor with Boulevard Real Estate. We're always here for you guys. And once again, thanks everybody for joining us. And salud. Thanks everybody. Appreciate you guys.
Cool, man. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thanks, bro.
Bye, Ricky.
See ya.